Welcome to the CCS Technology program, and especially our BYOD program. In this video, I'd like to give you a little bit of information that will help you to get started with BYOD here at CCS. First, what does BYOD stand for? Well, it's an acronym that means bring your own device. And we're talking here about computing devices. So why do we have a BYOD program? To use a buzzword, it is 21st century instruction. This is the way people are learning now. It promotes more thinking. We believe that a proper use of BYOD is going to help you to think better and to learn material better, because it will promote more involvement. You're going to be more active in your learning. But a major reason is it's just fun to do. It's going to be fun. You're going to enjoy using your devices for learning. What types of things can you do with the BYOD program? Well, here's some examples. You can download a Bible for study. There are a lot more things you can do with a Bible online or on your device that are harder to do with a hard copy Bible. Things like finding particular words and passages. You'll be able to look up websites in your science class to find out more information about what you're studying. You'll be able to have online discussions in class. You can watch videos about solving math problems. And something that I'm sure you all are very excited about, you'll even be able to take tests on your devices. So these are just some of the things you'll be able to do with your devices. Now, there's some things that you have to do. Your devices have to be able to do certain things. You're going to have to be able to access websites with your devices. You need to be able to connect to the internet, and so you will need so that you can then access various websites. You will need to be able to use Schoology on your device. We'll be talking a lot more about Schoology later on in this program and also during the year, but you've got to be able to access that. You're going to have to be able to take notes on your devices. It's not just a matter of looking up a website. You're going to have to be able to start writing things like taking notes. You're going to have to write essays as well. Your teachers may assign you to write an essay in class, and you need to be able to do that on your device and to be able to do it efficiently. You're going to have to be able to take tests online. Some of your teachers will give you tests through Schoology, and so you'll have to be able to do that with your device. You have to be able to use Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. In particular, those three apps are required. You also have to be able to access Office 365. We'll be talking more about that, but if your device cannot do that, then it's not an acceptable device for CCS. And you will be having to use email through your device. Now, I've talked about devices. What is a device? What are acceptable devices? Well, there are a number of options, as you see here, from Windows machines to MacBooks to iPads to Android tablets and Chromebooks. You have a lot of options, a lot of things you can choose from. We don't require that you have one particular type of laptop or one particular type of MacBook. There are a lot of things you can choose. Now, what about smartphones? Can you use those? Well, based on 3 years of experience here with devices, we have found that phones are really difficult to use for what we need to use them for. You're comfortable using them for things like texting, for taking pictures, those types of things, but there's a lot of what we do here that cannot be done efficiently on phones. It's one thing to be able to send a tweet 140 characters to somebody, typing it out with your thumbs. It's quite another thing to have 20 minutes to write a 3-paragraph essay and have to do that with your thumbs. It just doesn't work on a phone. Therefore, we do not allow you to count a smartphone, and that includes iPod Touch, as your official device for school. Okay? We are not prohibiting phones. We're saying they don't count when we say you have to have a device. If you have a phone, and you bring it to school, You'll be expected to set it aside when you come into class and not use it. So you need to have some other type of device besides a smartphone. Now we have a website on our school website. Here's a page that has resources, and we'll be adding to this throughout the year. So when you have questions, just go to this website first, CherokeeChristian.org/students/BYOD. Now I have mentioned Schoology before. Let me show you what Schoology looks like. Now here is a page in Schoology. Okay, you sign in. You will have announcements here. Your teachers will post homeroom announcements, other announcements for you. You can see those here. They will be for you. You can access various classes, various courses. I have some courses set up here. Like if I go to this course, you can see that the teacher has set up a class syllabus. Here are various units. Here are tests that you can take. There's a various number of things here. When a teacher puts out a homework assignment, it would show up over here under the upcoming area. You can even view a calendar of events, and this would show you assignments coming up, tests coming up. You could add things to this calendar if you wish, your own personal calendar. So those are some of the things you will be doing. You will check your grades here. If you were to have grades in this course, here's where you would be able to see the grades that you have. This student is not doing very well. They've got a course grade of 11, which isn't that great, but you would see all of your grades here in this area. And so we're going to show you later how to use Schoology, but I just wanted to give you an introduction there to what Schoology will be all about. Now, when you go to log into Schoology, you will go to this site, elearning.CherokeeChristian.org. There's also a link on the school website that will take you there, but you should get used to doing that. When you go there the first time, you will have to sign in. You'll sign in with your school email address here and your school password. That's how you will access Schoology. It will then take you to Schoology once you get to this point. So your first name dot last name at CherokeeChristian.org, that is your email address, and your password is your school password. Now if you are using an iOS device, you can download the app for your device, and also Android tablets as well. You can download the app. Now the key here is when you go there first time, it's going to ask you, do you want to log in with an email or a username? You will need to log in with a username, not an email. Okay, once you do that, then you will enter the school name in this first field. Once you enter the school name, Cherokee Christian School, that will take you to a sign-in page, and you'll enter your email address and password at that point. So again, we're going to give you more instruction on Schoology, but that's just kind of a brief overview of what you will be doing in it. Now you also have an Office 365 account. Office 365 is cloud storage and email. Those are the primary things that you will be doing with it. To access that, you will go to login.microsoftonline.com, and again, you will use your school email address, first name dot last name at CherokeeChristian.org, and then your school password. So you will do those. When you get there, let me show you what that will look like. Okay, after you log in, you may see something like this. And it says hello test because the name of this student is test student. So you would see something like this. Now this asks if you want to install Office 2016, because I'm doing this on a Mac on your Mac. If you're running Windows, it will ask you about that. You can download and install Office, that's Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and OneNote, on your computer free. It's the full Office suite, and it's free for you. So you would go here and install it. You have to do this. You need to do this no matter what device you're using, because we are going to expect that you submit files in the Microsoft format. If you're using an Apple device, I'll tell you, you have things like Pages and Keynote on your Apple device, on a MacBook. It's possible for you to do something in those and then export it to a Word format. We have found that a lot of times that causes problems and formatting doesn't work well. So you really need to go ahead and install the Microsoft Suite on your computers. Again, it's free, and so you need to do this. So you can also, in Office 365, two of the things that you'll be doing a lot of are email. Here's your email. When you get to that, it's Outlook email. And so you see here, you're going to have your inbox. You will be able to send and receive email right here. You're going to need to check your email, get in the habit of checking your email at least once a day, preferably in the morning, because your teachers may send you messages. If you're doing an online class, those teachers will be sending you messages through your email address, so you need to be in the habit of checking your email daily. And this is where you would go to do that. The other thing that you will be doing in Outlook 365 is that you will be sharing, you will be saving information. This is your cloud storage. You can save files here. In fact, you need to be in the habit of saving files on OneDrive. That way you can access them wherever you are from whatever computer you happen to be using. If you use one computer at school and get home and use a different computer, you can access the files. You'll be able to do that. They are securely stored. You don't have to worry about your computer crashing and losing your work. You will get in the habit of saving your files here. Again, we're going to give you more instruction on this at the beginning of the school year, but that's just kind of showing you here's what you're going to be using. So you have Schoology and Office 365. Those are two of the main tools you're going to be using. Now again, I mentioned about Microsoft Office. You have to download these. They're required, but they're free. So some of the basic things you'll be using Microsoft Word for word processing, for typing, for doing essays, papers, things like that. You will also use Excel for spreadsheets, for calculations, things like that. You probably are familiar with PowerPoint for making presentations, so you'll have that. And then you will be downloading Outlook for email. Some other apps that you will be using. Some of these are optional, but they will help you for taking notes. One app that's useful for taking notes is Evernote, and so if you choose to do that, you can download Evernote and take notes there. One that's actually preferable because it's part of Microsoft Office is OneNote. So you can use OneNote, you can take notes in all your classes. There's a lot of things you can do with OneNote. You may also want to download the Kindle app to your device. Kindle will allow you to download and read books on your device. You can do that whether you have a laptop, whether you have an iOS device or an Android, whatever. That will enable you to download and read books online. There's a lot of other apps, things that we'll be using during the school year, and so we'll be going into that as it's needed. Now, you have an acceptable use policy that you need to sign. It's rather lengthy because it has a lot of legal language that we have to give you, but just a few high points here of what we mean by acceptable use for your devices. Remember, the teacher is always in charge. If the teacher says, put your devices away, you don't have the right to say, but I'm going to be using it. If the teacher says, put it away, you put it away, period. No questions. Okay? The teacher is in charge of what you do when you do it. Okay? Now, one kind of code word that we use in school is screens down. you might have your devices open and using them, and the teacher may say, screens down. That means if you have a tablet, just turn your device over so that the screen is facing the desk. Turn it over. If you have a laptop, either close the lid entirely or at least close it down almost all the way so it doesn't put your computer to sleep, but at least close it down to where it's not accessible to you. Okay, so that's screens down. When the teacher says screens down, you do that immediately. Another phrase is spot check. The teacher may say at times during the class, spot check. That means you turn your device around immediately so the teacher can see what's on your screen. This doesn't mean hide windows before you turn it around. It doesn't mean pull up something else before you turn around. It means spot check, instantly turn your device around so that the teacher can see what you're doing. We expect you to bring your devices charged to school. Don't come to school and say, oh, my device, I don't have any power. Charge it overnight and bring it to school fully charged. Generally, your device is going to hold a charge all day because we don't use them continually throughout the school day. There are going to be times, plenty of times, when you won't be using it and it will be asleep and so it won't run down. So if you bring your device fully charged to school, it should last you all day. We don't have official charging stations here, so you can't count on being able to charge your device once you get to school. You're not allowed to take pictures or video unless the teacher gives you specific permission. Okay, you can't just be taking pictures during class, you can't be videoing things, you can't be recording. There are privacy issues and it's just not proper use of your device. So you cannot be taking pictures and video during the school day unless the teacher specifically asks you to. And we may update rules and policies through the school year as we continue to go, and as technology evolves, we need to be able to address that. So we may update rules and policies as the school year goes along. Now, if you have any questions about the BYOD program or about using technology, about using your devices, please feel free. You may contact me at this email address, or you can contact our IT director, Mr. Caldwell, at this email address, or come by our offices and see us. We'll be glad to help you out. I hope that this has been helpful, and we look forward to working with you using technology in a way that we can glorify God and we can work together here at CCS.